Imagine you are a 3PL logistics company like this. You move things around, you do deliveries, and you've got a ton of content ideas, but you don't know which to prioritize. Well, we've come up with a really easy way where imagine these are your categories, your content categories. If I unroll this, each one of these is a different content idea. And the nearer this is to 5, the more priority they should give it. They should write that sooner because it's more likely to lead to a conversion. As a quick example, this 3PL business should, this is number 4, so it's given fairly high priority, nearly the highest, should write a guide on outsourcing supply chain management because it's going to be really easy for them to talk about how you should do it and then link back to what we do as our service. By contrast, they should also write a guide on what is consignments and stock control because it's topically relevant to what we do, but it's going to be really hard to talk about stock control or what consignments are and have a natural CTA back to us. So we're going to show you really easily how to come up with a prioritization system. Cool. You've got a ton of content ideas and now you're a bit confused about which ones to prioritize. So first and foremost, it would make sense to prioritize the content that is most likely to convert. Now we're talking like top of the middle of the funnel content anyway. So it's not really designed to convert straight up. It's not like a category or product page, but you want to prioritize this type of content which you can easily put a nice call to action and it makes sense to put that call to action and it will drive that user to that product page. If you're a steel door company, you want to prioritize the contents like how do I choose a steel door to buy? Like it's really middle bottom because they're in that buying phase of where they are. So we've made a little app which can help you plug in a ton of ideas and it will help you prioritize very quickly. Let's jump in. I'm going to continue the example of that steel door company. So here is a steel door company, an e-commerce site. They sell a range of steel doors, fire exit doors, steel security front doors, and they have a very large blog, guides, things that they're going to attract that top of the middle of the funnel content to. So can you paint UPVC doors? How much does a new front door cost in 2023? So they've got a load of guides anyway. And what we want to do is a keyword research for them, and then we want to know what content to prioritize. So let's say hypothetically, I've gone away and done my keyword research, and then I've plugged them into Keyword Insights, and I've clustered them. Now, if you don't know what keyword clustering is, let me just go in a tiny little segue. So I've just typed in steel doors into Ahrefs, and I have nearly 10,000 keywords, and there's just so many of them. Now, I imagine a lot of these can be combined onto a single page. I think steel garage doors, and I've seen garage doors somewhere else down here, maybe they don't need to be 2 different pages. Modern steel doors and just steel doors, do we need 2 different pages? So clustering lets me take this massive list of keywords, but these are all transactional. I ideally just want the informational ones, but lets me put this massive list of keywords in and it will group them together. So I went away and did a little keyword research around informational terms related to steel doors, and I have plugged them into Keyword Insights keyword clustering tool, and you'll see it's grouped. So there was 1,917 keywords, and it's grouped them into 548 pages. What that means is those 2,000 odd keywords can be grouped and targeted on only 548 pages, which has made my life a lot easier. It will also make your API call a lot cheaper when I show you the keyword conversion score and how it works. Anyway, there's 548 pages here, and you can see, so this is one page, and these are all the keywords that belong on that page. There's 229 keywords that can be targeted on that one page. It's, by the way, not saying include all 229 keywords on that page. It just means if you rank well enough for a guide talking about steel door widths or standard door widths, you'll rank for all of these as well. So door sizes, how big is a door, all of that can be on one page. Anyway, what I would do from here is go to export, go to Google Drive, because what we're going to do is just get the head term. So you'll see if I'm in here, there's a head term. So this is the head term, and you'll see 229 keywords included there. And this is a head term, and you'll see 76 keywords here. Now, I don't want to run all of these through the keyword conversion scorer because it's going to take a long time and it's going to cost a lot. So it just makes sense to run the head term through, and then it will give me what I need to know, which is which of all of these content ideas, and there are, as we said, 548 of them, which of them to prioritize. So here I am now in the Google Sheet I exported. So that was when I clicked on Export Google Drive. And you've got 3 tabs here. And when you're in this tab, it's basically, let me just collapse it all. It's basically what you've just seen in the tool. So you can see here, each one of these is the keyword cluster. So these are all the keywords that can be targeted on this one page. These are all the keywords that can be targeted on this one page. But what I'm really interested in is just the head terms, these. And for that, I'm going to pop into this tab and I'm going to get the cluster. So this here, if I sort it A to Z, you'll see now. So you'll see these are like all these are the different keywords here. And this is the cluster. And this is the one cluster, and you'll see all the different keywords. So we just want this one. So let's just grab this column. And I'm going to open up a new tab, call this keywords. And what we want to do is deduplicate it. We only want one version of each. So we'll go data cleaner, remove duplicates, and perfect. We've got the 549, and that is the amount of clusters. Remember, actually, there's one more. Oh, it's including the heading. So there's 540. Yeah, just right. And now what I'm going to do is download this as a CSV. Perfect. And I'm going to come into our keyword conversion scorer. And what you want to do is give a bit of information about the business you're doing this for. So I'll quickly fill this in. Okay, perfect. What I've done is I've said it's e-commerce, which the site is. I've given the tool a bit of description about what the business does. I've basically just got this off their About Us page and ran it through ChatGPT to summarize it. Our goals, our sales or inquiries, because this e-commerce store takes both. You can see there's a contact us, or there is you can just buy it straight on the site like an e-commerce store. These are the key service or products. So I've just looked at their menu and gone, okay, there's steel doors, panel doors, front doors. I've just taken a few of them and added them into here. And then our target audience, I guess, businesses, builders, and security conscious homeowners. And I've added my open API key here. And if you don't know how to get that, I can make a separate video on that. And then I'm just going to upload that file that I downloaded a second ago, and it's going to start processing, which is great. So when this is done, it's scoring each of the keywords in batches. And when it's done, I'll open up the sheet. And what I'm going to do is pull it back into my sheet here so that we can get a prioritization score for each keyword cluster, which is super powerful. So bear with me and I will jump back in a second. Okay, great. In a couple of minutes, it's now finished. And this is the output I downloaded. So you can see here, what it's done is given a priority score, 5 being, I guess, the closest to being a keyword that you can convert from. Now, remember, this is informational, so it's not designed to give you like a scoring based on if it was a service or category page. It's literally like if you were to create this guide, best door security or best front door security, it's going to be pretty easy for you to segue and potentially sell one of your products off the back of this. So presumably on that guide, you would have a nice CTA going towards what will be your front steel door product. And as we go all the way down, you can see they get less and less relevant. So it's still worth, I mean, this is a company that sells building materials. It's still worth writing a guide on how much it costs to renovate your flat. One of the things you might want to renovate is the front door. So it's still worth writing that, but it's just a bit of a harder sell. So less priority. And then you can see loads of examples. If you go forward slightly less, so our composite doors secure, it's given it a 3. The guide's probably going to say they're fairly secure, but a steel door is more secure. Buy a steel door here. So it does a really good job of that. Now, what we want to do is pull that back into our clustering report. So I'm going to just highlight all of this, and I'm going to create a new tab here and just paste it in. And we're going to use the VLOOKUP function to pull that into the original sheet. So what we're going to do is add a column here. Now, VLOOKUP is basically saying, if you haven't used it before, find this word and look up the secondary word, if that makes sense. So let's just call this priority score. And so what we're going to say is equal VLOOKUP. So find this word, and then I do a comma, and find it in this table. So you can see here. So find that one here, and then we're going to return a keyword in column 2, and then false just means it's got to be an exact match. And so it's got the priority 3, and I'm just going to drag that down. Cool. And then I can jump into this tab, which is the table. I just prefer to collapse it all. I'm going to make it look a little bit neater by getting rid of the decimals and freezing the top row. Now that is my OCD coming in because I've got to see it like that. Oh, what have I done? All right, let's delete these and then freeze the top row. Great. Now what I'm going to do, because see all these, so these are the clusters, and you can see the volume and where we rank, but I really want that priority score to come to this. So I'm going to hit the edit table and I'm going to add another value, and that value will be the priority score that I just added. I'm going to drag that up because I want that to be the first thing I see here. And we don't want to sum it. We just want either the min or the max. It doesn't really matter. It'll give you the same amount. So let's do the minimum. And then what we'll do is we'll do descending in terms of priority. Descending in terms of priority and descending in terms of priority. Brilliant. And now what we have is a list of content ideas with the priority. It's in priority order now. So we can see, like, we should be talking about what are fire doors first, fire inspection checklists, where we can start talking about, I guess, what your fire door needs to have, and we can then sell them into our fire doors. So it's done a really good job of prioritizing the content ideas for me. And so there you have it, a really easy way to get all your keywords, group them into the pages you need to create, and then prioritize them in terms of the content which is most likely to convert. And we're not saying it will convert, it's just the most likely that you can add like a little CTA to a product, the most naturally selling into something else. Anyway, hope that helps. Enjoy.